I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
I've been saying this hot take for a long time, and I'm sticking to it. My hot take is that Will McDonald's going to hit 15 sacks.
No member of the New York Jets' Week 1 offensive line will miss a game all year.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble! I am your kingdom come. Oh, what's up?
Hey, chaos in the zone. Zone. Hey, Jeremy, brother. Hey, man. I don't know how shitty your afternoon was. I don't know if it had anything, if it looked anything like mine in the chats. But, brother, how is your night?
Look. I said it last week. I said there's 3 scenarios, right? The perfect scenario would be we play really well because we want to see players play well and do well, but we somehow lose the game. I said that's the most desirable. The second most desirable is we lose the game, even if we look like crap. But anything is better than winning the game. And we didn't win the game. So it wasn't the worst case scenario. And then I watched Seattle pull off, first of all, the ridiculous Phil Rivers story, which is just crazy. I mean, I know it was a lot of dump off passes, but the fact that this guy last week was a guy on his couch watching football, and after 4 years of not playing, and at 44 years old, was able to come in and be a game manager and manage that game and almost pull off a victory in Seattle is freaking ridiculous. But we got the win. Seattle got the win. I feel I'm saying we because it's so important to us. And also the Saints, man. When the Saints come marching in, and it makes next week's game so critical. I don't care if we look like the worst team in football. I don't care. I just want to lose next week. Please let us lose next week.
The toilet bowl, shall we call it? The toilet bowl.
The toilet bowl. You could call it that.
You know what? Scott chimes in. He says, "Why let the Jets ruin a great afternoon of football?" I am asking myself that rather often. I won't even lie. I think more and more, earlier and earlier in each game, am I having the Jets on one screen and red zone, or a good football game on another screen. But not you, Jeremy. You're locked in. You are on screen for the entire 60 minutes, sir. Any regrets on that?
Nah, we have a good time. I like spending time with Green Bean. It's painful though at times, but we always find a way to make it fun. We had a great little moment today. Where he thought he had a female caller, and he was like bragging, "Hello, I got the women," because he was reading the name is Daniela. He ignored the second part, and I said, "What if that doesn't say Daniela? What if that says Daniel Lake?" And he stopped and had to leave the screen and came back. And sure enough, in the chat, this so-called Daniela person said, "Yeah, I'm sitting here holding my son, wondering how I'm going to explain to him one day that I'm not a female. I'm a guy."
I did hear him talking the other night about how he thinks his audience is such and such percent. So I bet you he was, piggybacking off of
Yes.
that and
Yeah, he
like,
kept
yeah,
talking about 6%. Everybody else is 3 or 4. I'm 6. It must be me. They love me. They can't resist me. I tell my
wrong,
wife.
wrong.
It's Daniel
uh,
Lake. It's not
yep.
Daniela.
Yep. Hey, shut up, Dane. That's funny though. And like you said, man, even in the losses, we still find ways to have fun, man. If it was solely about winning and becoming successful and going to all these Super Bowls, man, Jets content would not be half of what it is.
Oh, none of
Yeah,
us would be here. Like if
no,
you couldn't find a way to enjoy being a Jets fan, then how could you possibly still be here? I mean,
no.
you have to find a way. How have we made it something that's part of our lives that we choose to do still? And not that they're not masters of it too. They always find a way to keep us hooked, right? It's like, oh, we're terrible. We're 1-7. There's no hope for this season. There's no hope for the future. Trade 2 guys. Get us 5 first-round draft picks over the next 2 years. They find a way to hook you back in.
Not gonna lie, that worked with me, or else there would be some tumbleweeds rolling through the danger zone right now. But hey, those draft picks are enticing, I will say. Um, our chat's already cooking. We got 17 here, Jeremy. I just wanted to remind them, spike that like button. Maybe we can get that 17 up a little higher. If you guys flood the chat with engagement, you spike that like button. You log into your grandma's YouTube and you subscribe there. That's everything we're looking for. So yeah, get us
We do
on.
appreciate the 15 of you that were waiting before the show even started. That's always a nice thing to see. We appreciate that.
Indeed. Facts. There was actually some good comments as well. Actually, a few about Johnny Boy. And the chat on the on-screen chat that I throw on the side, it only includes chats from after I logged into the studio. There was a few before that, is what I'm trying to say. Tony Alexio, he said, "Let's keep praying for Johnny Boy's recovery. It'll be faster than the Jets."
Whoa, what the hell's going on? What are you doing, Johnny Boy? What's going on with
Oh
Johnny Boy?
man, you weren't here on
No
Friday,
one
I
told me
guess.
anything, man. No one told me
Oh
anything.
man, dude almost kicked the bucket. Like,
What?
yeah, man, yeah. Emergency surgery, had to be rushed in. Almost sepsis,
Oh
all
my,
kind of stuff,
his
man. Yeah,
appendix
yeah.
popped?
Intestinal surgery right away under the knife, man.
Jesus Christ.
He actually called into Friday's show. So I do encourage, if anybody isn't aware of Johnny, like, check that out, man. You could tell that he's having a tough time. We actually raised some money for him on Friday's show, for him in the holidays. So go back, check that out, man, if you haven't already. But yeah, I mean, he's on the other side of it, but it seems to still be a challenge for him. He's still fighting the good fight, so to speak. But
Jeez.
yeah, man, it's not easy, is what I'm trying to say. It's not
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
things,
I gotta
you know.
reach out to him. I had no idea. Poor guy.
Yes,
Poor guy.
do that, do
Yeah.
that, man, for sure. Yeah, we had Matt here on Friday. If you haven't, guys, if you haven't watched that first hour or so, check that out. And then again, like I said, Johnny Boy calls in a little later on. If you're that much of a addict that you want to check both out, go ahead. But anyways, man, I can't blame Johnny, man. It's probably the Jets that started that whole thing. The Jets, the Mets were in the pooper for sure in both spots. While I don't want to talk too much Mets tonight, but like you said, Jeremy, man, we do have some things that they hooked us on staying here for the long term about, draft picks and all that. But like to get there, what we saw today, what what can you analyze? Because that was pitiful, man.
Well, I mean, here's the good news about it. When I say good news, I mean here's the what makes it a little bit more digestible. If you're feeling like I was a little hopeless. There's a lot of guys on that defense that are not going to be here next year. Let's face it. We have the worst safety. I've said this a million times. I've been saying it all year. It is not just the worst safety room in the NFL. It is not rosterable. It is ridiculously bad. It is as bad as any safety room that I have ever seen in the NFL. I cannot believe how bad it is. Malachi Moore is a fifth-round rookie, and he's the best one we have. And he's a rookie that's a fifth round that's developing, right? And he might be a starter. He might be a good depth, safety 3. But starting as a rookie and being our best guy in that room is absolutely horrendous. Tony Adams is absolutely a liability. He is complete garbage. He is as bad as I've seen. Oliver we know why he's supposed to be a special teamer and not on that field. He is terrible, 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 terrible. We absolutely, it's so bad. There's no way we're going to be that bad next year, right? Whether it's drafting or free agency, you could bring in a below average safety around this league, and it's going to be a giant step up for us. I believe that Quincy Williams is gone. Say goodbye to him. He's garbage. He is just pure, just like his brother. When he wants to play, he plays, but then a lot of times he just decides, it's clearly not there. He doesn't want to play. And I say that about his brother too, because his brother, first 2 games in Dallas, he's amazing. And then he disappeared in game 3, right? As soon as he gets comfortable, he disappears. So he's gone. Sherwood will hopefully be the Robin to a Batman when we get our real linebacker. And then we need safety. We need edges. We need a lot of things on this team. But the thing is that we will begin that rebuilding process. And also, we have an undrafted rookie quarterback playing. He's not going to be our quarterback next year. I don't know who is, but it won't be that. It's not going to be an undrafted rookie quarterback. It's not going to be a Justin Fields that's the absolute worst version that we've ever seen of him in his career. Like, I can't guarantee it won't be that, but you got to agree with me. It can only get better.
So wait, just to reiterate, what round did Brady Cook get drafted in, Jeremy?
He didn't get drafted. Let's be very clear about this. The guy who not one team in the NFL wanted, not even in the 7th round, did somebody say, let me take a pick on this kid. No one wanted him. Nobody was interested in wasting a precious 7th round pick on this kid. And it's nothing personal against him. He's playing his heart out for us. I'm sure he's doing the best he can. At least he's not holding on to the ball. At least he's throwing it. I'll give him an edge over Justin Fields just for that.
Yeah, you know what? You could take our entire front 7 and stick them in a blender. After what I saw today, man, I'm over it. Quincy Williams, I was willing to defend to a point. I can't even do that anymore, brother. Yeah, over it. Over it.
And I just got to say, what did I tell you last week? What train did I jump off of last week, Dana? It made you so happy.
The danger train?
No. But there was a train I jumped off, a player that you've been off of, that I finally
Breece Hall,
said,
baby.
I am done with Breece Hall. I'm done. Isaiah Davis looked better to me. Don't get me wrong. Breece Hall, if you get him in space, good player, good receiver, really nice when you get him in space. Fine. I am done with Breece Hall. I'm done with the backwards running. I'm done with the tripped all the time. Yeah, only had 2 fumbles all year. Yeah, in the end zone. I mean, it's just enough is enough. You know what? It's not that he's not a good football player, but I'll admit it myself. 2 weeks ago, I was sitting there talking about paying him and making him a top 3 running back in the league salary-wise. Why? He's not. I could name James Cook is better. You want to name all the running backs that's better than him? I mean, at this point, the kid from Atlanta, obviously, the kid from Detroit, obviously, Tyler from freaking Indianapolis. Like, we could just go down the list of running backs that are better. And then today, Isaiah Davis looked better.
Yes. 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 I am not going to take my victory laps yet. I am just going to evaluate this box score in front of us, Jeremy. Because what I'm seeing, I don't have my readers on, guys. My 2015 prescription readers. So I can't tell what that average says next to our stud RB1. Jeremy, can you tell what the yards per
I
carry
believe
are
that's a
there?
1.9.
That's
1.9. That's not even as high as like the lowest the interest rates were. 10 years ago when interest rates were really low. I don't know anybody that got 1.9.
You know what? I can't even recognize digits under 2, so I couldn't even read that, brother. Yeah, you know what? Out of his 14 games, let me just throw a factoid out at the audience. Out of his 14 games, let's say like 3.6 yards per carry, which is not even great. It's bad, actually. 3.6. How many games has he had above 3.6 out of 14 games, Jeremy? What do you think?
3.
He has had more than 3, I will say.
Okay,
But
fine.
you know what? You spoke of good running backs. You spoke of quite a bit. I mean, the guy in Detroit. You talked to There's the guy in Philly. There's the guy in Baltimore. How many would they have?
I would say most of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
games, the majority of their games.
Brees is 50-50. Let's just put it that way. He has 6 games above 3.6. That's nothing, man. 6 out of 14. The other 8 are 3.6 all the way down to 1.9, man. 8 out of 14 games. That bad.
All we do is make excuses for him too. It's just constant excuses. It's this, it's that. We don't have a bad offensive line, and anytime other people run with the football, they get better results. I'm not saying it was great today. Something is wrong. I don't know if it's the scheming, the fact that they're stacking the box because we're no threat to pass, whatever it is that's making it hard, even with a good offensive line. We all know that the trick to a good running game is having a quarterback that can scare the defense enough that they can't keep too many guys in the box. We know this. But when you bring in your backup running back and he looks better, significantly better, something's wrong. Especially when he's doing it. He's not doing it because he was lucky and there was some big hole. Isaiah Davis was running downhill into it and crashing into the pile and getting 3 to 4 yards in situations where Breece Hall is just not doing it. What he's doing is he's stopping and trying to cut and go around and losing yardage. And that wasn't the Breece Hall his rookie year before the injury. It was not who he was. He used to crash into the line, and then he would break. He would bounce off. He would crash in. He would then break a tackle and spin out. Like, he's no longer that running back. I don't know what happened to him. It's not the same guy. And I'm not saying he's not a good player because I do like that he could go out for passes. I do like him in space. What I'm saying is I'm no longer down with paying him 10, 11, 12 million, 3 years. People are saying 10 million, 30 million, 30 million for 3 years. No, we are done with that. He is not worth that. There's no way he is worth that. He is now, to me, 6 to 7 million at most, maybe 10 million guaranteed so you can get out of it after one season if you have to. And if they let him walk so we can get a comp pick for him, fine. I'm fine with it. Because guess what? The way he's playing, you see it through Isaiah Davis. We can get a guy in the 3rd, 4th round of his draft and get the same kind of production.
But Brees can get 40% of our offense with 50% of the touches, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's not saying a lot when you when you have a terrible offense, when you have no quarterback. It's not saying a lot to say the running back that you choose to give the ball to most is going to have a high percentage of your yardage, right? I mean, I'm just saying, do I want to waste the resource of $10 to $12 million a year on Breece Hall, or at this point, do I want to just draft a guy in the middle rounds that could do the same thing? And if we miss next year, who cares? We're not going to the playoffs next year. If we have to make a bigger investment in it, I'm sure we'll be able to figure out running back without having to commit 3 years, $30 million anymore. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
He's clearly not worth it.
Hey, Boomtown comes to Brees's defense. I believe Brees's defense. He wants to ask, are we planning to apply context to these numbers or no?
I believe I am. I believe I am. Context is when another running back on your team with the same exact offensive line in the same exact situation is running 4 times or 3 times the average yards per carry. You're watching the game. You're watching Brees Hall get tackled because somebody hit his foot and he tripped. That's not enough context for you? Your eyes, Boomtown? Did you watch the game? Did you watch him get tackled because someone touched his foot? Did you watch him 3 times stop instead of barreling into the offensive line and trying to create something and then get tackled behind the line of scrimmage? When our other running back, Isaiah Davis, was smashing into the line and gaining yardage? I mean,
what sucks, man?
Like if you didn't know his name was Brees Hall and you watched those 2 players play, if you didn't put names on the uniform, which running back did you think was the better running back that should be the starter?
Yeah, Boomtown. What the hell?
Context. You want context? Open your eyes and watch the game. Let's have context.
He chimes in and says 1 game sample size.
1 game. This has been all season. I called this last week. I said this last week that I'm tired of him. And I'm not even saying he's not a good player. I'm saying he's not a top running back in this league, and he's not. There's no argument you can make that says he's a top running back that's worthy of a top 3 salary, that's worthy of $10 million. Saquon Barkley got how much? 15, 16, and then had the best season we've seen in a running back in how many years, right? So you're talking the most elite running backs. The most elite running backs are – you're talking about right now, the price is 15 to 16 million. That is for the elite, the game-changing running backs. Are you going to sit there and tell me that Brees Hall is anything at that level? I don't know how you can make that argument. No, and even if he is, let's say he would be on another team. Fine. Then this is the wrong team for him right now in his career. It is the wrong time for us to be paying a lot for a running back. Maybe we're not ready for Brees Hall. Maybe we need to have a better quarterback and things figured out. But the timing is not right to spend all this money on a running back, even if that is the reason. Maybe we're just not the right team for him. But it doesn't make sense to pay $10+ million for a guy who's just simply not productive as a running back. And he's a great receiving running back. He gets yards from the line of scrimmage. He's great. I love the kid. He's great as a receiver. There's a lot of talent there, but it's not helping us win football games.
No,
it just
that's it. Production. You know what? I won't even argue that because I can argue whether he is a productive running back. We talked about it. Half the games he is abysmal. Half the games he's good. But it's not even that for me. It's even the games he's good in. How many games this year has he been a difference maker? Because
he almost
to me,
helped win game 1. Like
dude,
game 1,
10, 12, you're gonna 36 million. 36 million over 3. How many wins has he netted you that year? How many is he going to? Yeah. Dude, I spoke about it for 6 months straight. I don't even think I need to say anything else. You kind of stole my thunder. You did my work for me, Chaos, and I am glad.
And somebody's saying 10 million is not a lot for a weapon. No. Context is everything. Context is everything. Context. It's everything. A wide receiver that's great in this league costs you $30 million now. It's context for the position. Running backs don't cost you that much unless they move the needle. The point is you're saying that, but what I'm saying is you can get a weapon that's almost as good or as good for much less. That's my point. My point is you don't have to spend 10 to 11 million and guarantee him, 20 million of that and lock yourself in for 3 years to Brees Hall if he's not going to produce more than he's producing. Because it's like, how hard is it in this league right now to find a running back that's as productive as Brees Hall? Washington, had a 100-yard game or a great game from a guy who just rushed, who just was picked in the 7th round. Chicago Bears got a running back who had just as many great games as Brees Hall, who was picked in the 7th round. I mean, it's just
Well,
it's context.
context is the name of the first 27 minutes here, folks. If you're watching, 25 of you are, spike that like button as we go into round two between Boomtown and Chaos. All right, Boomtown chimes in. He says, "I didn't say he was worth 15 million. Why are we comparing him to the best in the NFL? He's allowed to be a top 10 running back that will improve when we actually have actual competent quarterback. Today, they keyed in on him all day." So I ask you, Jeremy, is that your sentiment? And not even that.
I think
Is it fair? Is it hold on? Is it fair to compare him to the upper echelon on the list I've provided? Is it fair to put him even in the middle? I mean, I think he's going to command at least the middle, though.
absolutely. I just think it's the wrong time for us as a team. I don't think that he can't be a $10 million, $11 million worthwhile player for a team that's ready to have a running back succeed on their team. We clearly right now need young legs who can crash the line and get 3 to 4 yards. A player like Brees Hall is not moving the needle for us. We're in a rebuild. So you're talking about next year just being a wash for him. We're going to pay you 10, 11 million for the same thing we're getting this year. We're going to either have a rookie quarterback, whatever we have. We're going to have a situation where they're still going to be able to stack the box on you. You're not going to be able to do much, right? Maybe the year after that, things start getting better. Okay, but now he's in the second year. He's going to he wants an extension because the third year is not guaranteed. It just doesn't. It's when you're thinking about, and I'm not against paying him 7 to 8 million. I'm just saying for where we are right now, I just don't see why. Because we're like a running back is kind of like a luxury position to bring in. It's like the cream of the, if you're not positioned right, your offense, we're learning that. If you're not positioned right for a running back, they don't help you. So if you don't have a quarterback, if you're not able to have a passing attack to keep guys out of the box, it's just too easy to stop. I just don't. How many games has he helped us? It's nothing against him. If you put him on a different team with a good quarterback, like Henry's getting old, if you put him in Baltimore, I don't doubt that Brees Hall could be really good and worth $11 million for the Baltimore Ravens. I believe he can make a difference there because they got so many things that the defense has to worry about. What I'm saying is where we are as a team right now, it doesn't work. He doesn't move the needle. There's an order to how to build a roster. It doesn't make sense to me to have a great running back when you don't have the other pieces that you need to compete.
I am with you. The chat is not, but I am with you, Jeremy. They're still clinging to Brees being this difference maker that's going to help a rookie quarterback out so much.
That was what I was saying up until 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I was saying that he could help a rookie quarterback. I agree. He's a veteran and everything. I'm talking about paying him top 10 in the league. I'm talking about paying him 11 million because it's context. Yes, it feels like it's cheap. It's only 11 million, but you have to mathematically figure out how you're going to divide your contract. Remember, you have to pay your wide receiver 30 million. If you find a good WR2, if you want to get a free agent edge, if like whatever we're going to fill in where you need money, different positions cost different amounts of money. Do you want to go to the top value in that position? Are we a team that benefits from that? I'm not going to say I'm definitively believe I can't be wrong, that he can't be a difference maker, that he can't be good next year. I'm just saying that I'm off his train, that I'm not going to sit there and toot and set his horn and say we have to do everything we can to sign Brees Hall, because I'm just not seeing it translate to wins at all. I'm not seeing it translate to anything. And when I see Isaiah Davis come in and give our offense just as much help when he was in the game, and you're saying, oh, it's only one game, but it's not, because there's been other games where we've watched, even before I got hurt, Braylon Allen last year, that we've seen these kids come in and we've seen them be just as productive.
Agreed. Hey, long story short, because I'm starting to get into a chat argument as well. Like, just look at this, man. How many games under 3.5 yards per carry? Too many, man. If I have a young quarterback at the helm, do I want a guy that's literal yards per carry looks like a heart monitor? because this does to me. It's a heart monitor, man. I need a guy that's like more like this for a rookie quarterback, period. And that is my final argument. I'm worried about the quarterback. I can't worry about the running back. And this makes me worry. Even on the ups, how many of them were wins? How many? 8 yards a carry, loss.
Yeah.
5.6, loss. 7.4. Okay, he is 7.4. He won that game. I mean, the others, whatever, man. I'm just saying, like, can you afford him under the books? Yes, of course. Without taking a little bit from elsewhere? No. But can you? Yes, you can. I wish we had a better sampling, because if the dude gave us 4.2 yards per carry every week down this list and tuned to 900 yards, I'd pay him. It's the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
No pun intended.
I gotta say, I will acknowledge that based on the rebuild, based on when we're really going to make our big move, it's not the end of the world if we give him a 2-year contract and guarantee 10 million, 20 million total over. It's not a big deal, because by the time it matters, by the time we really get hit and we're looking to really make the big moves, we'll no longer be locked into them. So it's not something I'm going to be angry about. If at the end of the season, in the offseason, we re-sign Breece Hall to whatever it is, 10 to 11 million for what I'm talking about 20 million, I'm not going to be mad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not dead against it where I'm going to say, oh, it's stupid, we're doing a horrible thing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'm not sitting there screaming that we have to sign him anymore. Like, I'm no longer on his train. I'm no longer a Breece Hall guy saying we absolutely must sign him. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, there are certain guys, like, I want to extend Simpson or secure a guard. Like, there are certain things that are really important. It's no longer something where I'm going to be super, super angry. If somehow we don't sign Breece Hall, I'm not going to be super angry, right? I'm not going to sit there and say, I'm pissed off. How did we let him go? So I'm not saying, because I was his biggest fan. Literally 4 weeks ago, I was saying a young quarterback, if we draft the quarterback, is going to need Breece Hall in the backfield with him. What I'm saying is I no longer feel so attached to it. I no longer feel like it's something we just have to do.
Yeah. The Feed Breece shirt is like almost to Goodwill, right, Jeremy?
I'm holding on to it because I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping if he stays,
Yeah.
I'm hoping if he stays and we fix things a little bit, like we get a quarterback that's playing more respectably. If Breece starts opening it up, I'm not sitting here regretting it and feeling bad about it. I'll say, yes, I am the happiest person in the world, because anybody who's wearing a Jet uniform, I'm rooting for it with all my heart to do well and perform.
Facts. It's just at some point you got to realize, hey, man, it's been too long. It's been a year and a half. We've been waiting for him to turn a corner. Turn a corner. Something Isaiah Davis did today. He turned a corner. He turned a 25-yard carry into a touchdown. That's something I haven't seen in a while. A 20+ yard touchdown that wasn't receiving. Not bad, man. Like that kid. He had 5.6 yards per carry as a rookie. Here he is again, damn near 5+ yards a carry again. Yes, it's sporadic. It's peppered, in and around. But dude, career-wise, over 5 yards a carry. The kid, it's not that he's a difference maker. He's not winning us games, but that punt return penalty was not on him. I just want to make that clear. They came in the broadcast later and said, no, that was number 30, not number 32. But also, he ends up scoring today. Also, he's cheap as hell. And hey, man, let's go back to the well. Let's get cheap labor so we can pay a little money for other things like wide receiver 2.
I'll tell you this: we should be using Isaiah Davis
Yeah.
the rest of the way, because even if you make the case that we're going to sign Breece Hall, let's save him the beating. Why beat up his body? Let's see what we have with this rookie. I mean, this second-year guy, this sophomore. He's done nothing wrong since he's joined this team, right? You're talking about his average. You're talking about the amount of yards he gets per carry. Why can't we use the next 3 games as an opportunity to see what this kid is? Yeah. What happens when Isaiah Davis gets 20 carries in a game? I'd like to see what that looks like.
You know, a guy that we've spoke about already tonight, Jeremy, one that you weren't too plugged in on, just commented. I would just want to bring it to your attention. Johnny Boy chimes in. He says, let's make Justin Fields a running back. That solves it. Bam.
Let me tell you something. I am so glad that he is here and I could get to say to him because I didn't know any of this was going on. Johnny, I love you. You should have texted me and let me know because I would have sent you my freaking Jewish nose vibe and I would have like somehow made you feel better. I would have told you jokes. I would have called you. But it's good that you're texting. I hope you're okay, man. It's scary as hell. I don't like hearing any of my friends are sick. So I want to get that right out of the way. I'm with you, brother. And I'll whatever you need, let me know. But you're having to do after I got some bad. Oh, okay. So you see what I'm saying? He's getting bad news. Like we got to call him. We got to talk. We got to check in on our boy. That's more important than any of this jet stuff. Yeah. So
Agreed wholeheartedly. I spoke to him this morning, but I didn't even know this latest nugget. Guys, hit up Johnny Boy, man. Send him all your good juju. Save all your bad juju for Boomtown 89ers. Send that down to him now in the chat. Now, just
oh, by
Boomtown
the way, I
all
want
day
to talk
long.
about free agency. When I'm talking about free agency, I'm talking about 27 even. Like maybe, you know what I mean? Like just so we're clear about this. I'm not talking about finding a WR2 in free agency. We talked about it. The only free agency guy that I would even like is like the exception is Lindebaum. Like I like that kind of scenario. Like where you bring in a special player, still super young, started his second contract, an all-pro type player that some team lets slip away because they can't afford to pay everyone. That's the kind of thing. I'm not looking to go into free agency to find a WR2, especially not this offseason. You know, like
No,
we could
yeah,
draft
well,
someone, we could like draft someone. We're still seeing AD Mitchell had another good game today. Like we're still figuring that out. I'm not running to sign or spend tons of money on a WR2 right now.
I
Maybe
mean,
they'll find it maybe later.
he might be talking to me even. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, like, if you can save money at running back, notoriously a position you can replace for cheap in the draft. Like, let's not beat around the bush, man. Like, you
It's
don't have to
become
pay running backs in this league unless they're a difference maker.
it's become a low
That
cost.
gives,
It's become a low
yeah,
cost.
yeah. You can literally spend that money. How about on a CB after what we saw today? How about a linebacker? Like, how
Well, I
about we
mean,
talk about the things that were cheeks today?
we also have to figure out our identity, right? Because that's one thing Estran has not done. Like we thought we did in the beginning of the year, what we knew what we were going to be. There's no identity to this team, and one of the reasons is you have Justin Fields, then you have Taylor coming in, now you have Brady Cook. They're totally different quarterbacks. Nobody fits to the to any kind of offense that he set up. You're putting completely different pieces of the puzzle. I mean, we don't even have an identity. So that's what I'm talking about. Like it's not even fair to Brees Hall because we have no identity. I want like what kind of team are we? Are we going to be a power run team? Are we going to be? Do we want a finesse guy? Do we want what Detroit has? Do we want the combination? We have, they have two guys. One's the power runner. One's the finesse runner. Like we got to even decide what is our identity as an offense. And until we get our future quarterback, we don't even know that. We went from Justin Fields to Taylor to Cook. We went mobile, less mobile, no mobile.
I
So
do. I
who are
do.
we? I don't even know who we are.
Bro, yeah, indeed. That is going to be, hey, folks, I don't know if we told you, we are going to be here this off season on Sunday nights. So buckle up, bitches. Uh, we can talk about all these things. What is our identity heading into year 2? What are we looking at? For the draft, spike the like button, please. If you're enjoying this content thus far, if you're not, then buckle up anyway, because Jeremy, we are 41 minutes in, and I have a caller for you.
I don't like that smile. That smile. You have like an evil smile.
You ready for a caller, Jeremy?
Sure.
All right, let's bring him out.
Oh, my boy. How you
Hey,
doing?
so just here, man, chilling. I was hearing the conversation and about the Breeze thing, and he was. did you guys not feel like he kind of gave up today? Like he looked like he gave up, and that's a conversation that a lot of people are not really like talking about. Because when I saw Davis, he was in there. He was still running and running as hard as he could. So, you know, the Brees Hall conversation, I don't think that he needs to get paid top 10. If he takes a pay 15ish, right? Because you could really go and have a conversation about the running backs that are out there that are better than him right now, and it would fill that up. Like I don't I don't know. You know, he has these pressers afterwards. It just seems like he just does not want to be here anymore. He's just dealing with time, letting it go for what it is, and he's just dealing with it. So yeah, the team sucks right now. We got destroyed today. We look bad. It was bad. It was a bad game. There was nothing there for me to be like, oh yeah, Cook was looking so good, and I didn't see it. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered this off season, and I truly don't think that he is someone that's going to be here. So hey, I gotta get something done. So I'm gonna call right back in real quick. All right.
All right,
You
brother.
got it, man.
Hey,
You
bye.
got it. Peace.
The hell,
All
man.
right.
I
Yeah.
don't like seeing
Yeah.
him like that at all.
No, no. But I will say he talked to us 2 days ago, and he looks 200% better than he did then. I'm sure Friday night he looked 200% better than he did on Wednesday as well. So, you know him though. He wants to stay plugged in. I'm sure he's not calling out of obligation. He's calling because he is a Jet fan who needs someone to talk to right now. And when he calls back in, Chaos, I want you to chop it up with him and see where his head is at, because it sounds like he is kind of like us when it comes to Brees. Not like everybody, because I mean it's a polarizing topic. There's a lot of people still in Brees's corner, mainly because they point at other factors and whatnot, and or they just think that it's a relatively cheap retention, but we don't know that. We don't even know that Brees wants to stay. That's it for me too.
I wouldn't blame him if he didn't. He would be if you were Brees Hall, wouldn't you want to go to Baltimore? Wouldn't you want, or just think of other teams that might have a need? Like is Barkley? Barkley is slowing down. I don't know. Like is the I don't know what his contract looks like.
Kansas
He's probably
City,
still with the
like
Eagles, but Kansas City, yeah. Like wouldn't But I'm just like, there's so many places. If I'm Brees Hall, I'd rather play. Why would he want to be here? He's going to have to play with yet another quarterback. We don't know if it's going to be the right quarterback. It's just like, how would I even blame the guy? He's what, 26? Like he's only got a few years left of his prime. Like, it's like, so if it's true, if he's ready to be a guy that could rush for 1,300, 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns, would be really special. If that's true, he's not going to find that here, right? It's not
if
happening here.
if we paid him last offseason and he was making $10 million this year, what would you think of his performance?
I mean, we would be like, this was a waste of money, but maybe not even his fault though. Like I'm not even going to put the blame completely on Brees Hall. I didn't like the way he played today, but let's push that aside. It's just, I think for anything, you have to be able to, like any position you're going to put in, does that position, does that money, does that player make sense for where your team is in a specific time? Like where this team is right now, does it make sense? Right? Like you see a team. When did we bring in Aaron Rodgers? When we thought we had the team that he could bring to a Super Bowl. And then Pittsburgh did the same thing, right? What would they but you wouldn't have the Tennessee Titans bring in Aaron Rodgers for 1 year to play his last year. Why would that happen, right? It makes no sense. They're not ready. They wouldn't be ready to win with a like he went to a situation where he thought they were ready to win, right? That makes sense. Is Brees Hall a guy who has a few years left in his career, who's been, if you want to defend him and say it's because of the team, he's played for a crappy team, they stack the box on him all the time. Let's say all that's true. Why does he want to be here if he has 2 to 3 years left?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? We could have the Brees argument all night, but honestly, I've had it for 6 months. Some of these folks weren't here for 6 months, and they could have hashed it out with me all off season. I mean, I spoke about it literally at length every damn episode. Now we want to bring it back up. I think there's so many other things to talk about, Jeremy. I don't know
Yeah,
about you. If you're,
like other guys who gave up, because someone said, yeah,
yeah,
a lot of guys gave up. I think Quincy Williams gave up. We all saw that, right? Tony Banks gave up. We saw a lot of guys give up, and what we should do though is point out the guys who didn't give up. You know who didn't give up? Joe
who?
Tippmann did not give up. Joe Tippmann did not give up. Joe Tippmann was playing like a freaking animal.
And you mentioned Tony Adams, right? Adams
Gave up. Gave up.
Yeah.
We watched it on plays. There were plays where he didn't go in and try to push the guy. He came around and tried to like go around and had no chance of actually pursuing the run. Like it was stupid. Like it was like
Yeah.
either stupid or he just gave up. He didn't want the contact.
All last week, well, not all last week, but the last week on this channel, we've been getting the question a lot, and I didn't think it was very valid, but now I think it extremely is. Last week, I don't know if I posed it to you. I definitely posed it to Murph, maybe Matt O'Leary as well. Whether y'all thought that the defense quit on Wilkes, and I'm not going to ask you to give us hindsight on last week, but today, do you think the defense quit on Wilkes?
They didn't. I mean, quit. It's like there was nothing. They never showed up. Like forget about quit. Like yeah, quit before the game. Let's not even talk about quit during the game. They quit before the game started. Like they came as quit. They quit last week and never came back from it. There didn't seem to be any intention on some. Not every player. That I'm not going to point out every individual player, but there were too many players that just did not show up. Like, Quincy Williams should not be playing. Like, you benched him once for it and said he needs to earn his spot. Why even put him back? We suck. The season's over. Why even show the team? Like, this is where you could show the guys that are going to be around for a while that you don't let people play if they've given up. So why is Quincy Williams playing? It is so blatantly obvious that he's given up, right?
Yeah.
He is terrible. He is terrible. I haven't even watched the tape yet, and I know just from watching the game live, and I don't usually judge players too much until I've seen it, but I don't have to wait to judge it. It was so blatant, right? He was terrible.
Let's get more into the defense. I think that does deserve a good little section of time. The chat's in on it as well, but we have a caller that maybe doesn't have that much time. Let's get him out here. Hear what he has to say.
Hey,
The
buddy.
one, the only, Johnny
Yeah.
Boy.
I'm sorry about that, guys. They came in and had to give me my my pain stuff. So if I start to like go crazy, just get me off, like and all that.
I'll
and that's
get
the
you
other
off, Johnny Boy.
is you guys are hitting it, dude. Our linebackers got worked today, like really, really bad, and it's like you don't know what Quincy you're getting. You get the 1 week Quincy where you're like, holy moly, man, it's Pro Bowl Quincy Williams all over again. Then to the disappearing act, and him and Sherwood, and I love Sherwood, but if I'm being honest with you, man, I don't. Why don't we put him back at safety and then get 2 traditional linebackers at this point? Like, I know we already paid him, and that probably sounds stupid. If I'm just trying to see where Sherwood's going to fit over here next year itself. Dude, every single play action, they were getting sucked right in constantly and just being thrown right on over it. So I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of holes that need to be fixed that I just can't. It's the reason why I'm having the trouble with giving up all the capital that we have right now just to go ahead and bring in a quarterback that is a big question mark. And look, and I like Mendoza, like especially after that Heisman speech. But it's a speech, that stuff. Like, is everything that he's doing going to translate into the NFL once he comes here? He's going to be the quarterback if that's the route we go for the New York Jets. And let's be honest, it's hard to be the quarterback QB1 for the New York Jets and this organization itself. I I think we need a lot of help in the safety room, right? We're banking on Malachi Moore right now, which is a developing safety. Tony Adams is horrible, right? I mean, what's gonna go on? Brownlee, it was supposed to be a slot guy. He got hurt. Stevens, I like Stevens a lot. Don't get me, twisted itself. But is he the true CB1 for us? And I know that's kind of what you guys were talking about, but our corners were getting worked today as well. So there's just a lot of question marks right now that are not being answered, and I don't think they're going to be answered because of what's the roster and what we have. Like, it's very difficult for me to try to root for a loss, for an L. So I'm looking at it as I've been rooting for them to win and they keep losing. So maybe that's the strategy that I continue to go with it. But today was bad. It was a real bad game, man. Like, bad game for us itself. And like, another question, look, that needs to be talked about is Membo and the penalties that he's having, right? Like, is 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 it him, or is it that he's just trying so hard right now to try to be perfect because everything else around there is just so bad. So I don't know, man. Like, I came on here because I want to ask you guys that question itself. Get your guys' thoughts. I love hearing what you guys are saying because you guys are spitting some real good assessment of the game today itself. It was a bad game. Like, we got beat by a way better team than what we had on that field. Like, this is probably one of like the maybe 4 games this year that I could say that we got outclassed. Like,
The Jaguars, man. The Jaguars.
exactly. And last thing, just yeah, I talked to you a little bit earlier. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that's reached out. Like, I really, really appreciate you guys. Do not know how much that's really like helped keep my spirits up and keeps my mind from not wandering and going into like weird places and stuff like that. Because when you're alone, your mind starts to thinks about stuff that you normally wouldn't, right? And I got some bad news today, and just to give you guys a heads up, well, like, I'm comfortable with it so people can know. um i'm I'm having issues with I have some internal bleeding right now that's going on, and they can't find out what's the reasoning behind it. So I had to get my hemoglobin levels have dropped a lot, and which is not good. And then my stool is like really black, and it looks like coffee grinds right now, which is so that's not good. So that's the case, and tomorrow they're going to probably have to put a camera down, figure out where the bleeding is coming from, and then from there, if they find it, they might have to reopen me back up, um,
Jeez,
and
man.
stuff like that. So then I would have to start all over. But I did it before. I'm in good spirits. Like, again, you guys don't know how much you guys are really helping me go through this process and giving me good spirits and being able. So when I say, just reach out to somebody and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" or do that, it truly, truly, truly means a lot. And you guys don't know the significance of what that really can mean for a person at that given moment, because I was in the dumps, dude. I was just But quick message from you guys. I mean, Dano, like I heard, like after we got off, like literally, then I hear that, and then you said, and I was like, oh man, this is awesome that you were saying what you were saying. So like again,
Johnny, we love you. We love you, man.
love you.
Chaos, I'm sure you can say something before Johnny goes.
Dude, there, I hope they find it. Like, let them put that camera in. The cutting open is, if it's to find the bleeding, that's the easy part, man. If they find it and the cutting open, like as far as just making sure that you're okay and getting you better, they just need to find that bleeding so they can go in and stop it. And I've been through this with my wife. I've been through this,
Yeah.
like watching someone I love go through this. So
I
we
appreciate
love
man.
you, man. We love you.
Man. Like this stuff is from fucking Jets. As soon as we lost, I go to the nurses, and I was like, "Is there any pain for the amounts of years of me having to see us get our ass whooped like this that could help out with it?" And of course, the nurse is a Bills fan after they just came back and won against the Patriots. And she's like, I'm the wrong one to ask about that because I'm loving the fact you guys are getting your asses whooped.
She didn't give you like a lifetime of morphine or something.
Dude, yeah, man. But hey,
Hey, Johnny.
but yeah, so if you guys could just answer what I was asking in regards to those questions, like, am I the only one that felt like Brees gave up? Am I the only one that is like Sherwood and Quincy like are getting truly exposed as well? Like our safety room is not really well. Our defensive line was like the highlight of the game was a batted ball down from Michael Clemens. Like there's just a lot of holes that are there right now, and I'm like, how are they gonna fix it? Like what are they gonna do? So I appreciate you boys, man. Hey, make
We
sure you
love you,
guys hit the
Johnny.
smash, hit the like smash, you know what I mean, and just
Johnny always thinking of smashing something.
Johnny,
dude,
Johnny, we love you. You always say how you're the man, Chaos, you're the man, and it's so wrong in a way, because the reality is you're the man.
you guys, you the man, Chaos. You know that.
Hey, rest up, brother. We will talk this week, man, but one thing at a time, dude. Just remember that. It's not the entire journey, it's one step, man. Just tackle the next one and kill it like we know you can.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, let's go Jets, baby. Peace.
All right, peace.
Let's go, Jets, man. Take care, brother.
Johnny boy, what a legend, man. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
legend.
Sorry to spring that on you, Johnny, or Chaos, but we were talking about Johnny and then boom, there he is. Hey, he's a man. Like I said, you know what? We opened the floodgates. Now we have two people waiting. Chaos. Can you tolerate a few more guests?
I want to just really quickly just let Johnny know that
Yeah.
I agree that we have a ton of holes, and I no longer think and to agree with what they call Evil Allen, but I won't. But I mean that in an endearing way now, not in a calling him evil, but Evil Allen, so we know who we're talking about. I am on. I might like Mendoza a little bit more than him, but I think we're pretty much aligned. So like as far as I agree, I don't want to give up any trade capital. Like I think it's enough just to use it. Like if we have the third pick or second pick and we take a quarterback, that's enough. Just that's a lot. It's expensive to use a top 5 pick when you're looking at some of the positional talent that is out there, or the ability, like Charles said, to trade back and to get so much value there. If you want to go quantity, there's so many different options we have that the best I am at this point is if they really love the quarterback and he's there when you pick, fine. But I don't think we should be trading any of those number 1 pick. This roster is Swiss cheese, man. And we need to be, we have so many holes to fill. And and believe me, I know some people will scream quarterback. I understand, man. I know how important it is to get a quarterback. I understand it. But I can't sit there and say, yeah, trade 3 of the number 1s to get a quarterback and then say, here, Mr. New quarterback, not only are you a risk because you're never a guarantee, no quarterback is a guarantee out of college, but we're also giving you this crappy roster that's going to take 2 to 3 years to fix, and we just gave up all the picks we had to do it. So I am now on team, if the quarterback you love is there, otherwise let it go. We'll figure it out some other way. But do not just give up all of our trade capital for a quarterback, and certainly don't take a quarterback because you have to. It better be because you love the play. You better love the guy you take.
Yeah.
And please be right.
I lean your way, but in the interest of time, I won't fully flesh out my thoughts. These people get enough of me, man. What I will say, Jeremy, is you as co-host, many people probably think that you have access behind the curtain.
I
I will
don't.
say you do. You do not. Yes. So I would like to say this: 2 people called
Okay.
within 1 minute of each other.
Wow.
And maybe I'm inaccurate in my description, but I'm going to give you the option. 2 people. Do you want a salacious, spicy caller first? Or do you want a sound, logical one?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say take the one that got here first, even if it was within 2 seconds of each other.
Okay. All right. I will do that. All right. First up on the call, and dude, I didn't expect multiple callers, but hey, man, we're attracting people that want to speak out on this mess of a team, Jeremy. So we went from Johnny. We're going to go to another creator on YouTube by the name of Anthony, care of the Jet Life podcast. What's up, brother?
How you guys doing, man?
Okay, I like that beard.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's not,
Anthony,
not as
what-
good as Dane.
I know. I just like it because it has its own uniqueness, and I love the hat. I really love the hat. So that's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Anthony,
the logo,
what's up,
you can't
dude?
go wrong with this
Glad
logo.
to
I
have
don't know
you.
what they were doing ever getting rid of it, but it's back.
Yeah, right there.
I
wear that.
Look at this.
There you go, man. You know it.
I have the same one, Chaos. That's ironic. It's just somewhere I can't show.
Oh boy.
Anthony, I am sensing a bit of lag, so I'm going to give you an open mic, man. What say you? What's going on, man?
Not too much, man. This entire situation is a mess. Here we are, and the Jets are in full tank mode. It's real now. Their roster is just completely getting depleted. Players are going on IR. I think we are weeks away from probably are weeks away from even Brees being shut down for a period of time. Dark days are ahead of us these next few weeks because, you thought this week was bad, but Saints are better than us. They're to a point where they could even drop 30 on us. It's a scary situation overall. My biggest concern, obviously, as many Jet fans should be concerned, is although this roster is depleted and although this defense has been stripped down to its nuts and bolts, showings like this week and showings like last week against the Dolphins, where you come out completely flat, get up touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, really reflects badly on this coaching staff, and not just Wilkes, but even on Aaron Glenn as well. It's a really scary situation. Quarterback or not, whether the Jets are able to get one this offseason in the draft, you're putting these guys responsible, and it sucks. We're in a situation where we kind of have to trust them, but what's your guys' level of concern and thoughts on just like the shit show potentially that is this coaching staff at this point?
I think you have to fire everybody and you have to draft an entirely new 53.
All in the first round. We have plenty of picks to do it.
You know what's sad is I don't think I'm that far off of my actual take, but dude, I'll go first, Chaos, because I know you tackled the last one. I like Glenn. I like Engstrand. I love what's his name? Banjo Kazooie there. He's a beast. Wilkes, man, like he doesn't fit the mold, man. We have, I feel like people starting their careers, they are going for it all. They're succeeding. Engstrand, in spite of the quarterback play, and in spite of not having a wide receiver 1, 2, or 3, he's doing well as well. Wilkes, tired old dinosaur, and I get it because Glenn, I feel like he thought he was hiring a high floor, low ceiling guy. Instead, I think he got the opposite. And he's going to course correct. I mean, I'm tired of hearing the fire Wilkes because I think it's just inevitable. It's going to happen. It's
Yeah,
going
it
to
will.
happen immediately after week 18. It's going to happen, man. So I'm not even one spouting fire Wilkes all night like some people have been.
Pointless.
No, dumb. It's going to happen. I wish it would happen today, but really, what does it gain? Whatever, man. Let's just lock up this draft pick, whatever it may be. Players, man, 30 outgoing free agents, 30. I think you can add 10 more of guys I just don't want back. Maybe 10 of the 30 I'll bring back, but 10 others already here I'm going to delete. So like at the same time, 30 people, you got 95 million in cap space, and I hear other people say like that's a war chest. I need 30 new players at least. That's not a war chest to me because I sliver that up and that's 3 million per. How many of those $3 million players are going to be difference makers? None. Like, so it is very tough, man. I think 2027 looks great. I think this year, free agency, we're not going to have anyone that knocks our socks off coming or wants to come. Call me crazy, but that's my stance. I
Well,
think
that's
the
the biggest
draft.
concern. Who wants to come here?
Yeah, and like you could splurge on 1 or 2 guys and pay that jet tax, but guess what? The other guys you're going to have to pay 2 per instead of 3 per. So it's like, what, dude? Whatever, man. Let's just hit that draft. Maybe even slide back, like some people are talking. Like maybe don't trade up, trade back. We have so many holes, and then 2027 get a quarterback. Does that?
The
Does that
concern
like?
there is like, in any draft, like especially if you're trading up into the top 10, there's got to be somebody that teams are willing to trade up for, and usually in the top 10, it's a quarterback.
True.
I mean, who's the guy? Is it one of the receivers? Is it? I mean, you got a few options there, and Tyson and Lemon and Tate. So I mean, maybe if receivers start falling off the board, but the Jets are picking top 5, so they're not going to be in like that desperation zone. Oh shit, two receivers went. We want one. We got to jump up and get him. I don't see the player that potentially teams would be like screaming, okay, we got to trade up to where the Jets are at in order to get that player. And who knows what happens this draft cycle. There's players that we're not even talking about right now that are going to all of a sudden fly their way up into the top 10. It happens every year. But it's just, again, where the Jets are going to be picking top 5, I just can't see a team putting up that ransom potentially to trade up there unless it was for a quarterback. And as we all see at this point in time, it just seems like it's a one-horse race with Mendoza at the top.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's still hope. There's still hope in the playoff. That Dante Moore plays really well. I mean, Mel Kiper just ranked him number 1. Let's say he plays really well in the playoff. It only takes one team to fall in love with Ty Simpson. I know there's a lot of people out there that love him. So I agree with you. I think overall the majority, it's a one-horse race. Like as far as what teams want.
I mean, Moore just needs to come out. Like, let's be real. I don't know what the holdup is. He's gonna be a top 5 pick. What's holding him back?
The one thing that keeps my mind open about, like you said too, you don't know what's going to change between now and the draft. So much could change. But the one thing that gives me hope that you can get a haul if you did trade out is, this time of the season that year, nobody cared about Trey Lance, right? Nobody talked about Trey Lance, and suddenly Trey Lance was this guy that the Niners gave 3 first round. They gave this crazy haul for. So all I'm saying is, you don't know what player a team will love, and you don't know the craziness that they'll do to get him. Like it's hard to know for sure. Like I feel you. I feel you though. It's like, to me, in my opinion, Mendoza would be the one someone would trade up for, and I don't really see these other guys someone that anybody would trade up for. But then I remember there's 30 somewhat teams in the league, and it only takes one GM to be a little bit of a loony boony. You know, it says, I love that guy. And suddenly they're willing to trade up and trade everything to get him. So, but yeah, look, I have no problem sticking, even if we don't take a quarterback and we took a guy like Avril Reese. Like, I have no problem with that. Because to me, that could be a guy who moves the meter. Who moves the meter.
So are you guys completely against the trade up option? Like if the Jets are sitting at 3 and you got Giants, Vegas, us at 3, are you guys just against, a potential package that probably will include one of our firsts and maybe a second to hop over the Raiders?
It's hard for me.
Let me chime in on this, because when we were at 7, I was against it. Today we climbed up to 5. If you're saying we climb up to then 3, I don't think I'm as against it as I was at 7. And also, like, is there 2 quarterbacks or is there 1, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, let's go with the facts that we know. Like, if it's just Mendoza, Dante Moore wants to stay for another year. Ty Simpson, who, based on the way the end of his season, there's still a college football playoff, so maybe he can course correct. But assuming what we know, that Mendoza's likely the only quarterback in the race. You only have one shot at it. You got either the Raiders or us, probably, in that situation.
Man, I vomit on my mom's spaghetti on my sweater right now, man.
I'm just having trouble. And look, if they're right, I'll be happy. Don't get me wrong. Let's say if we traded up and gave away an extra first round and it was right, and the quarterback, let's say it's Mendoza, just for argument's sake, and he's like a franchise quarterback, I will never question. I'll be, obviously I'll never question it. I'll be happy the rest of my life because to me, but we don't know that the quarterback is going to be successful. We don't know, right? And anybody who claims to know is crazy, because we know that it's at best a 50-50 swing, right? Unless you're talking about someone super generational, which doesn't exist this year. So to me, giving away trade capital on top of already a very important pick that's so valuable, I just have trouble with it. And I, like I said last week, if they were to do it, they better be right. They really better be right. Otherwise,
well, yeah, that's the thing, and I think that goes to the concern overall when you're talking about what this team and the guys who are probably going to be picking have kind of gone through. They agreed it was a good decision to pay Justin Fields $40 million. Do we really trust these guys? And I know Mooj, former quarterback, and all that stuff is out there, but he was also one of the guys signing the contract and signing off on paying Fields. It is a scary situation, but I mean, my other concern is, going into next season, if you don't have a quarterback draft wise, like, look at your free agent options. Like, it gets really doom and gloom pretty quick. I mean, there's the Marcus Mariotas of the world. I mean, you're on a very thin list. Like, how much do you really trust another season like this where, you're week to week on who's throwing the football around the yard? It's, and does this regime survive that season even? And we've seen what they've been working with the scrap heaps they have now at quarterback. It's just, I think they're the worst thing about this, I think they're almost like in a desperation mode type of thing. And maybe they have some sort of assurances internally, like, oh, okay, we understand you got to gut this thing out from nuts and bolts. And this season, if there's no quarterback there, you guys might get another year. But does that really work its way through Woody's ears if this team is going 2-15 in 2026? I mean, and let's go for the next guy. The next guy has 3 first-round picks to work with, but
I don't think Aaron Glenn could survive another year like this. I mean, like I believe that there's a lot of us that are saying, I'm in the camp of I'm not defending Aaron Glenn. I'm very concerned. I think there's a very good chance he's going to pan out to be a terrible coach and be another disgrace in our, right? But I'm still hopeful that because I believe he's going to stay. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping he's going to turn it around and be a really good coach. And I'll say this: if next year we're sitting here and we're feeling just as shitty, and we're sitting here yelling tank, like, Aaron Glenn better be gone. Like, in other words, this better not be a 3-year plan. That's if we're this next year, he has to be gone. Otherwise, I'm with the people who want to just burn down that life.
Yeah.
It's like I can't do it. Like I can't if we're like this in exactly a year from now, I can't do it. I can't have them say we're going to sit through another year of Aaron Glenn.
It's
No,
scary
no.
times for sure. Like I just
It's
like
not.
hope that the
It's not
football
even.
gods are shining on us and just like somehow like weasel us up into that top spot so we can stop having this discourse. And oh no, we don't have to trade assets. We're sitting pretty. We're chilling. We're right at one where we want to be. But
You
chance of
imagine,
that
man,
happening is slim.
having first overall and you have 4 more first round picks.
That would be a
Imagine
dream.
that.
That would be
Imagine that.
That would be amazing if that worked its way out. But I think like the FPI chances of that happening right now are 6%. But there's still a chance. There's still a chance. Slim or not.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Anthony,
Exactly.
great call, man. Where can the viewers find? I mean, you're here on Friday nights, but this could be a whole different audience on Sundays. Tell us where we can find you, brother.
You can find me on at JetLife Podcast. Normally do a night stream at 7:30 on my channel. You can also find me on Saturdays. We have a AFC Shakedown on the Bills Mafia Sports Report channel. Fun time. We got a couple Dolphin fans in there. Patriot fan, Bills fan run the show. It's a good time. We're on Saturdays at noon. And then you can find me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays. Also at the JetsChaos Podcast. If you haven't already, guys, hit the like button. Dane does an outstanding job. JetsChaos. Haven't connected with you, but happy if you ever have time, jump on our show. Love to have you out as a guest.
Yeah. Hit me up on X. We'll
All
figure it
right,
out.
we'll do, man.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Anthony, good talking, man. Have a good night.
Time, guys. Have a good night. Go Jets.
Go Jets. That's a good caller.
Did I? Yes,
good
sir. Yeah, very sensible, logical. Actually, we close out here usually late nights on Fridays in the DZ, and like we go late, and then usually first thing in the morning for me, I'm like popping in the Mafia Sports Report, listening to them guys talk about all the AFC East teams, and Anthony's on there, and yeah, so definitely check what he plugged out, whether it be the Shakedown or his own channel. Check them both out.
Yeah.
So I teased it, Jeremy. I mean, I know I'm
You
hitting you.
do have a super chat. Do you want to take care of that before?
Shit. Good
Not
call.
to
Good
make
call.
our guests wait, but we do have a super chat.
You are right. By a guy by the name of Silent Aaron Glenn. Does that mean he moves silent like lasagna? I guess.
I have no idea.
$2 from Silent AG. He says, "Really enjoying the discourse. Keep it up, loonies." Man, do I take that offensively? No, I don't take anything offensively, except maybe Boomtown's takes tonight. But
that was nice. It's a nice thing to say. That's what we want. We want good, enjoyable discourse, right?
That exactly, man. You and I even aren't gonna agree on all the like. You're a big Mendoza guy. I am not a big Mendoza guy. We're gonna get into that discourse.
Your org
yeah, you know what? I need to stop that because it totally ruins any takes I have after that.
Of course, he likes Dante Moore.
But you know what I will say is that I don't even have to argue against your Mendoza takes because I have a guy that'll do it for me. Chaos. You know what? I
just said I wouldn't trade up for him. He's not generational. Just said that.
You know what? Tell it to the judge, Jeremy. Bring him out.
So let me ask you a question, okay? So I assume I was the salacious caller. Is that correct? Because that clown who was before me, and I like to rip on people, you think that's logical to trade a first-round pick for a guy who you don't know is going to be a franchise quarterback because this team needs a franchise quarterback for a team that's going to be 3-14, and that's logical? Are you serious?
I said that before.
That is not a logical caller. That, my friend, is a delusional caller.
Did he say that? I thought he asked.
Yes.
He asked us. Did he say he would do it?
He said he would trade a first-round pick to move up.
Oh, I thought he was just asking us.
No, he said he would trade a first-round pick. Yes. So
Okay.
to me, that's
To be-
logical.
I,
Seriously?
foot the Rex Ryan foot.
You can't be serious. You cannot be serious. I appreciate, Jeremy, you calling me evil because it's a term of endearment. Because I think
I said that. You heard me say endearing. I said it in an endearing
because
way.
I think over the last few weeks, I think you've realized that I've been right the whole time.
I think you've been right about a lot of things.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
But I also am regretful that it got bad between us. If we would have talked like this instead of in a chat, I think it never would have happened.
So this is a 3-11 team. About to be 3-4 team. Hopefully Tyler Shuck is healthy. He took quite a hit at the end of the game, but hopefully he's healthy. He's playing like a franchise quarterback right now. He's been great.
He's been playing very
great. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are willing, people who are willing to trade up with the Colt pick they're willing to trade up Sonny Styles on a defense that has no leaders. They have no leaders on their defense. I would get rid of everybody on their defense. Okay. Sonny Styles would be a 12-year captain at the mic right now if they drafted him with the Colt pick. But yet people want to trade up to go get a guy because they think he's the man for a team that has, as you mentioned, a boatload of holes, Swiss cheese of holes, pretty much.
I think that Colts pick is way too valuable. It's going to be a top.
You cannot trade that. You can't trade any of these picks.
Way too valuable.
You can't. And you know what? I'm going to think selfishly because I know a lot of people love Mendoza. I hope the Raiders lose out, that they take him, and it's out of our hands, and we can trade back. Honestly,
they will take him. Tom Brady will take him in a second because he sees himself in him.
Yes,
there was a perverted part of me that was thinking, I wish we would be 4th or 5th, and all 3 quarterbacks are gone, so we have no choice but the.
And please do not touch Ty Simpson. Please do not. Okay, if he was smart, he'd go back to school. And I hope Oklahoma's defense beats the crap out of him Friday night just to end the whole misery.
When is Sonny Styles projected to go?
He's supposed to go between 13 and 20.
Oh, so it's reasonable that we can get him.
Yes, he is an inside linebacker. So he's not a guy that you project to play on the outside. He is a true Mike. And there are 3 true Mikes that are supposed to go between mid 1 and early 2 in Sonny Styles, CJ Allen out of Georgia, and Anthony Hill out of Texas.
I like all 3 of those.
Those are the 3 guys. If one of those 3 guys are not Jets, then Muji should get fired because he's watched this defense and there is no leader on this defense. Zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of watching the Bills and Patriots today because spending a minute watching this shit, I had no desire to. Okay. So I watched the great Josh Allen come back from 21-0 down and win a game that they were not supposed to, but he's a great player. Okay. I also happened to watch the end of the Patrick Mahomes season. Unfortunately, he has a torn ACL, and he might miss part of next year. So, we go there next year, which is crazy. Okay,
we'll go late in the season. Believe me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if right after Travis and Taylor get married in June, he announces his retirement too. I would not be surprised at that. But let me talk about the Jets for a second. As you said, there are holes everywhere. And the idea of trading this much capital, and again, it looks like the Cowboys season is over. Yeah, they're down 11 with 23 seconds to go. So their season is over. They missed the playoffs. So that will be another top 50 pick. So we're talking about 4 top 50 picks where the Jets could maneuver backwards and hopefully they get the 3rd pick and maybe a team covets a Caleb Downs, or maybe a team covets a Carnell Tate, or maybe a team covets a Francis Mauigoa who needs an offensive tackle. I am of the belief that the Jets should trade back and amass more draft capital in the top 75 so they could fill multiple holes. And the thought of trading up for the cerebral wonder in Mr. Mendoza, who I like. He's a nice kid. He's a great kid. He seems like he'd be a kid I'd cheat off in calculus class. But I don't know if I'd want him to lead my franchise, but this is me. But the idea of trading multiple assets to move up to go get him is ludicrous. I heard today earlier today there was an insider that said he would trade 3 ones to move up for Mendoza. I nearly threw my computer out the window.
It's the opposite of Moneyball. It's the opposite of what works by the aggregate,
Dude,
right? Like, it's just
we are exactly where I want us to be for the 2027 draft.
Yes.
Why are you trying to kill that?
Again, Jet fans, for the most part, are impatient. And I get it. They have not made the playoffs for 15 years. Why not wait 1 more year and build the roster? And again, try to get some true leaders on this franchise. There are so many guys on this team that pretty much have quit on the team. And I dump every one of them. Like Sherwood, I would find somebody and I'd just give him away. I don't care what you get back. I still am a little disappointed that Quincy didn't get dealt at the deadline. It made no sense for them to keep him. And Brees, I guess they're forced to transition him because to lose him for nothing makes no sense. And if you deal him, you got to get a pick back. You can't just lose him for nothing because it makes
we wouldn't get a comp pick, or we too allow.
No, because they could have $100 million in cap space. I assume they're going to spend some of it.
Right.
So it basically offsets.
I mean, it offsets if you sign some premium guys. But
I think they will sign 1 or 2 premium guys.
We might.
Yes.
They better be young, man. Second contract.
Again. No one over 26.
Right.
As you know, I'm an Iowa fan, and I love Tyler Linderbaum. The idea of signing a center at $20 million a year makes no sense. I would rather draft his understudy at Iowa, who just recently won the Remington Award, in Logan Jones. He's going to be 25 when he gets drafted. He's a guy who can go in the what?
You name the guy I love.
Yes.
I love that.
He's 25 years old in October, and he's the guy I would draft.
Yeah, that's Dom C's guy too.
Yeah. He's a guy I think you can get in the 3rd round if you trade back. I think he'll slip because of his age. Again, there are guys who are 21, 22, but again, this kid's 25. That's why I think the Myers contract is all backup money for me.
Yeah, I didn't realize Lindenbaum would be 20. That's a lot.
Yeah, he'll get at least $18 to $20 million a year.
That's a lot.
Absolutely.
That's a lot for a center.
Yes. Free agency for the Jets, to me, again, as I said, I would rather go after young guys, maybe a Leo Chenal who's 26, or maybe go get a Quentin Lake who's under 27. Go that route. I don't want any older players. Like people have suggested Alex Anzalone's 31 years old. No,
makes
please
no
no.
sense. It makes no sense.
Makes
We're
no sense.
We're not going to be good for 2 years, at least, right? So
yes, just embrace the rebuild. Unfortunately, there are too many old school Jet fans who just want the quick fix, and it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense with all these assets and all this draft capital. The thought of trading any of those guys or any of the capital to move up for a guy that you hope, again, Mendoza's a nice kid. Do I think he has franchise quarterback in him? I don't. I think he's a Kirk Cousins clone. I look at him and I see Kirk Cousins. I don't see franchise quarterback.
I laugh only at that only because based on us, the Jets, Kirk Cousins would be like a fucking miracle.
He would.
Because we suck so bad in quarterback.
Just look at that comment right there. Here's another thing. If a team offers the Jets a 3rd for Will McDonald, I would trade him. I would. I am not giving him the option. I am not paying him the option. I would trade him.
I think as time goes by, I think most are leaning that way. Like,
yeah, he's a one-trick pony, and unfortunately, the trick doesn't work.
It was a hot take this, maybe this offseason. It's aging poorly. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I'll take a 3rd.
I would too. I'll take a 3rd.
I would take a 3rd for him. JJ, I always thought this was going to be a transition season coming off the Achilles. So I didn't really expect much. I know people thought he was going to get 10, 11 sacks. I never did. And I always thought that JJ was more of a 1B. He's not a number 1A pass rusher. As far as Sherwood is concerned, as I said, he doesn't fit this defense. He doesn't. And if they're able to find a taker post June 1 and maybe eat half the money and maybe get a 6th-round pick or whatever, I just want him off the team. It's crazy when you look at this defense. You want like 8 new starters. It's nuts.
I want Quincy Williams gone.
Yes.
Gone.
You want a complete overhaul. And finally,
Tony Banks. Tony Banks. How is he
Tony
still
Adams.
Tony Adams.
He's garbage.
I can't stand it. He's so bad. I can't even say his name right.
Finally,
Alan, before you go though, I have a caller that wants on with you.
Okay.
You want to spit your final take first?
I do. Let me give my final take first. I keep hearing content creators say, who's going to be our quarterback next year? Who's going to be the bridge? And here's my answer. I don't give a shit. Okay? I want to build a roster. You want to bring in Marcus Mariota and draft somebody in the 3rd round? Great. Okay? That's how you build the roster. You have to build it from the ground up. You got to build the trenches and then go from there. They're lucky. They have 2 bookend tackles that they could build off of. They have 3 true starters on the offensive line you could build off of. That's great. But again, I don't care who the quarterback is next year. Okay? Mendoza was never going to start right off the bat. And I don't care who it is. Right. My preference is
it's a wipeout.
It's like 2026 to me is another lost season.
Right.
And it allows the Jets the opportunity to look at 2027 with 3 number 1s and say, holy crap, we can do whatever the hell we want.
The only thing I want out of 26 is to see the 4 picks we make that right now are in the top 50.
Yes.
Look really good.
Yeah. And you could trade back with the 4th. If you don't want to trade Caleb down, if you don't want to draft Caleb Downs 4th overall and you want to trade back and maybe pick him at 8th and maybe get a guy in the 3rd round or a 2nd round pick, go for it. You need to add capital. You need to bring talent here. Okay. Yeah. It's not a top heavy draft, but you can get guys between 15 and 75 that could fill holes that this team desperately needs. And for all the Jet fans, the old school Jet fans who are saying, oh, I can never root against the Jets, but please do me a favor. Don't watch the last 3 games because 99.9% of Jet fans are going to root for them to lose. Okay.
The New Orleans game is the most important game to lose since that Rams game.
It is. You go from 5 to 9 like that, and you're fucked. You're pretty much screwed.
It's probably the most important game we lose, even more than that year, because this is we're playing the actual team that we really have to lose to.
You do. I think with that chart, I think Vegas loses out. I think the Giants will find a way to win in Vegas. I do. But again, with the Mahomes injury, you have to realize the last 2 of their last 3 games are at Tennessee and at Vegas. And they'll start Gardner Minshew, and also they'll have a lot of those veterans sit out the rest of the year. I don't anticipate Chris Jones playing another game this year. I don't anticipate a couple of the receivers not playing the rest of the year. I can see them going from 6-8 to 6-11 that easy. So the Jets might catch a break.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Agreed. Gardner Minshew, who many want as a bridge next year, you're going to see in a I know. Hey, Alan. Hey, we are not many. Okay, we are not many. I'm just saying.
Next year is so meaningless. I agree with that. That's like one of the things I agree the most you've ever said of everything you've said. I realize that the bridge quarterback for next year is so unimportant because we're not winning anyway. So
the worse they are, the better.
Jeremy and Dano, I don't know if you heard this. Dylan Terraman, we got a little fight on this. He said he would trade 2 1s and a 2
for Kyler
for Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Jalen Hurts. Oh,
no, come on.
Well, I'm like, I did hear him. He was doubting Kyler.
He did say that. He did. I almost laughed. I'm like, dude, that guy has a forum, and I like Dylan, But that's the dumbest comment I've ever heard in my
And
life.
the money, because
Yes.
his contract
said,
is
"Oh,
back heavy.
He
His
said a
contract
bunch
is
of
back
teams
heavy.
would do it. I'm like, there's no team that would do that.
His contract is back heavy. It was light at the beginning, so you're paying a ton of money and the picks for a guy who, as soon as he doesn't have the greatest roster in the world around him, does not look good.
So when you say salacious and logical, that's me.
Yeah,
I'm both.
I guess so. I guess
I'm
so.
both.
Hey, you know what? I got to find out if this next guy agrees with that comment, because he is he affectionately calls himself Chaos's bodyguard. Without further ado, let's bring him out and see what he has to say. His name is Swamp.
I love Swamp. He's good. Thank you for your service, Swamp. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Security.
Hey, Alan, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that injury
Genius,
to
right there,
Mahomes,
genius.
I think that injury to Mahomes has more ramifications on this draft, because if you're the Chiefs, right? Do you think Mahomes comes back for week 1 next year? No, probably not, right? Maybe week 4 through 6.
Might be later. I mean, this is 9 months. I don't know if he's coming back from a torn ACL in 9 months.
If you go into that week 18 game, is that in Vegas or is that
in Vegas?
Okay. And you're Andy Reid, and you're saying to yourself, hey, man, I like this kid Mendoza too, right? Do I really want my division rival to get this guy, or am I just going to play practice squad guys and rest starters like you just said, right?
Pretty
much. The only more dysfunctional, pathetic franchise in the NFL right now than the Jets has to be the Raiders.
It is.
They quit. The entire team quit on Pete Carroll. I think he will be gone.
Yes.
I've been tuning into some Raiders channels to see what they're kind of talking about. And one name popped up pretty frequently, and that was Robert Saleh.
I did see that. Yep. I did. Yep. I did.
Yeah. So
he's going to get a job. He's done a really great job for a team that's been injured. That team is 10-4. What are they? 10-4. It's unbelievable.
He's definitely going to get another job. It's just it was the Raiders, though. It's so funny to me.
It is.
Yeah. That is a good point. I don't know if they could beat the practice squad Chiefs, but they might throw the game. You know what I mean? They might say, hey, we could finish with the 11th overall pick as the Kansas City Chiefs. We haven't had this high in a decade, and we can land us a Carnell Tate or whoever, right? Yeah. So, there's only 3 games left, still a lot to go. The Saints, we're not winning in New Orleans next week. I watched my wife's a huge Carolina Panthers fan.
Shuck's good.
I've been tuning into the Saints as of recent, and they've been getting a lot better, and so is Tyler Shuck.
He's good.
They just lack talent, and they're old on defense. Who would you guys say are the best players on the Jets defense right now? like in all seriousness, they all suck. But
I'm gonna say this: Jermaine Johnson is not gonna ever be a big sack guy, but like he's more like a JFM. Is good in the sense that he seals the edge.
Right.
Like he's playable. He's just a good starting edge. He seals the edge. He's not a star. We shouldn't pay him crazy money or anything like that.
Right.
I don't think he's a bad player we need to get rid of or anything like that. He's whatever. He's okay. He seals the edge. But there's no reason to get rid of him. He may as well just be there for now at least until we get edges, because we need someone to play. Someone's got to play, right? We need to have play.
Honestly, I wouldn't extend JJ yet.
No,
I'd let him play the walk year. I really would.
I would too.
I
think that was Muji's biggest mistake, was not just commit to the tank, bro. Take the 4th for Brees, and
should have.
The Eagles paid a 3rd for Jalen Phillips, who came off the same injury as Jermaine Johnson, and I believe he's on his 5th-year deal right now. So I'm curious as to which pick that is. Was that Philly's own 3rd, or was that the Jets?
I think it's their own. I don't think they traded the Riddick pick. I don't think.
We could use that 3rd sorely right now. It's a top 100
69
pick.
Or 68 right now, I think. 68.
So,
68.
But Dano, you said it. Juwan Briggs, right?
I like Briggs.
I would argue Harrison Phillips, even though he's just a space eater.
Yes.
But everybody else is a leftover from the Saleh era.
Right. those two guys in the middle are fine role players. There's nothing wrong with them.
That's it. They're not starters. They're rotational guys to come in on 3rd and 1, 3rd and short when you know the other team's running the ball.
Well, Briggs is young. So I'm hopeful Briggs could be a full-time start, like, because he's young.
When you have you see the one thing about Phillips is his contract is $7.5 million next year, and it's no dead cap. So I'd keep him just to keep him
for depth.
And they're not going to pay anybody anyway.
No.
Why not just keep him as a veteran? If you need to deal him at the deadline, you could. I think a team might give you a pick next year. But again, Moore is a guy who's an average safety. I don't know how much more he's at.
He was a what, 4th or 5th round pick?
He's an average.
So I mean, you're getting what you paid for him. You know what I mean? So that's depth there. But you know, the best players on this team have been ones acquired by this regime.
Yes.
So that is the one thing that I think Jets fans can find some hope in, is that Muji's ability to acquire talent through means that we haven't seen in a while. You know, those shrewd swap for a 6th, give me this guy, and then bringing in, you know, A.D. Mitchell. He is who he is. Same with John Mechie, but I mean, they're playing with a UDFA quarterback and a broke down Tyrod Taylor. So, I mean, the Jets, I think the best thing that could happen for the Jets, if they, let's say the Raiders finish with the 1st overall pick, they're going to draft Mendoza.
They might be fascinated by Moore if he comes out. They might. He has better traits than Mendoza. You know, I don't want to draft a 20-year-old quarterback that high.
No, we would.
I know he's from your team, Dano, but I don't want to draft a 20-year-old quarterback that high.
The Jets would ruin Moore before he even stepped on the practice field. It's sad truth. He needs to sit in a Kyle Shanahan type system, or he'd be perfect for the Rams. Sit behind McVay and Stafford for 2 years till Stafford retires, and then he takes over and picks up right where Stafford left.
He won't. I mean, how is he ever land in a situation? Whether it comes out this year or next, I mean, he's going to be in a shitty situation.
I think if 2027 is as hyped up as, you know, with quarterbacks as it's, you know, supposedly is
5 right now, I could tell.
Why would me, if I'm Dante Moore and I look at it and I could be a top 3 pick this year, why would I risk that by going back to school and then having more competition? And I lost my offensive coordinator. Now I got to learn a newer system. I don't know who Oregon hired. I'm not that into.
They haven't hired anybody yet, I don't think.
So
yeah, I don't think they did.
He might have to learn a new system. You know, the transfer portal and whatnot. He might not have as good of a year.
Can I rebut that?
Yeah.
Let me rebut that. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
I think he's going to get, if he stays in school, I think Phil Knight's going to pay him between $8 and $10 million next year. Okay. So the prospect of going to the draft and playing for what might be 3 of the worst franchises in sports, which is the Raiders, the Browns, and the Jets, might tempt him to go back to school, hone his craft, and build it up. Because why does he want to go play for those friends? As much as $40-50 million guarantee works, I think he wants to get better. And you think he's going to get better sitting on the bench with those 3 laughing stock franchises? No. I think he'd rather go back to school.
My point I was going to make is, if the Jets are sitting there at 3, let's just say, I mean, the Cleveland Browns are kind of in the way. But let's say Dante Moore's on the board at 3 when the Jets are picking, and we were talking about trading back. You don't think the Rams would come calling and say, I have 2 first-round picks I'll offer you for that 3rd overall right now?
Oh, I'd ask for more. Especially if they're at 10, I would.
Atlanta might win another game.
They might.
They might win another game.
Awful, so.
So yeah, you could ask for more, but I mean that would be best case scenario for the Jets. If the Jets don't find themselves with Fernando Mendoza in their laps, a Dante Moore declaring for the draft and sliding to the Jets, and they look at it and say, we are in no position to develop this kid. We have holes all over the roster, and I've got the Rams calling with 2 firsts and a 2nd in 2027. I'm probably
I would take it.
After
I would
this
take-
year, after what I saw this year, how we went into this college football season, the injury to Drew Aller, et cetera, all the things that have happened. If he's projected to be a top 5 pick, is my opinion. I think Dante Moore is declaring because
I'm not sure about that. I really still, I don't know.
It's too risky.
I don't know if he's come. I know that before the year, there was talk that he and his parents had conversations with Dan Lanning about a process or about a plan, because he's only 20 years old, about a plan going forward. He has Decorian Moore coming back next year from here in Texas. They have weapons all over the place.
Dude, they have.
I know they lost Stein to Kentucky, but they're going to be a top 5 team next year.
They are, and he can. I mean, he would have a ton of fucking fun running that back.
Yes.
He's going to lose Sadiq. They had the second best signing day out of everybody, second best. But I do think there's something to be said about if he talks to teams, or his agent does, and he's like, if Simpson, dude, he's already he clears Simpson. I'm sorry.
Yes.
If he's I don't even care. Chaos, you say top 5 pick, he's going to be a top 2 if
he'll be a top 3 pick.
Yeah, yeah, dude. So like, oh man, for me, it's like, yeah, you could get 10 million to go back, and you could come out with, as Swamp said, all this competition, or just be a top 3 pick and take 40 million, race to that second contract, man. That's what you want. The second contract, not the 40 million, not the 10 million, not the 10 and then the 40. Fuck it all, man. Hurry up and declare, get to that second contract. That's where I'm at. And I know Chaos spoke his piece. I know, Alan, you think he'll return. Dude, he'll have a ton of fucking fun. A ton of fun. And I guarantee he's a top 5 pick again next year. But guess what? There's always Drew Aller as well. So you never know, man.
You also don't know who's going to draft you next year, though. Like, it's not really better. I mean, like, you have no idea who it's going to be.
Also, Dylan Gabriel leaves. He Moore steps in. Great. Who's to say Moore, if he has to sit for a month, all of a sudden Achilles Smith steps in? Great. Boom. Moore, you're a third round.
When are we going to know if he's going to declare this?
January 15th, I believe.
Anyone will be good. Anyone will be good.
What's nice is we're going to get what's nice is we're going to get a definitive answer. Like, we're going to know. Like, it's not going to be a thing we argue about for years and then say, oh, it's interpretation. Like, we're going to know yes or no what happens.
You will know about Dante Moore January 1st when they play Texas Tech against that defense with 4 top 75 picks on their defensive line. I want to see him perform against that team, where their defense is beastly with their great linebacker. Their defense is awesome. I just don't know if he's going to come out. I don't. He might, and I might be proven wrong, and he can go play for the Browns and sit on the bench and learn from Deshaun Watson. God bless him. Okay. He might, if I was him, I'd go back to school, have fun one more year in Eugene, and come out and be fresh and be a top 7 pick and be a more established quarterback than what he is now. He's going to sit most of the year anyhow next year. So why not go back to school and have fun?
It is a fun place to play. I'm not going to argue that. I watch them every week because I'm on the West Coast, just like Dano. And it is fun. These guys, they get a nice, comfortable pocket to play in. They get great receivers. They got a nice system there that works. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
Alan, let's give Swamp a few minutes here. Is there any final words you have, Alan?
No, I really enjoyed chatting with you guys. I've always had respect for Swamp. I know me and Jeremy have had our moments, but I appreciate the evil comment. I think it comes out of love, because I think Jeremy realizes that I've been more right than wrong. And I think he also realizes that people who want to trade multiple draft picks to move up for Mendoza are morons. I think he's not going to say it, but I'm going to say it for him. But
that's I think is the hard part with is the like quick to go to moron kind of thing is where
I have to. Some of these guys are idiots. Okay,
but
have a good one, guys. Have a good one.
I'm appreciating who you are. Take care.
No problem.
See ya, Alan. Go Saints.
Go Saints.
Swamp brother, we love the Discord alongside the discourse or alongside Alan, but now we have you alone, man. What's up, man?
Not much, man. That game was so on. The only thing that makes the Jets watchable is the green bean and Jeremy Street, dude. I swear to God, it's it's unwatchable football. It really is. Like the first 5 minutes the game is on, it's over, and then it's like, dude, we got to sit here for 4 more quarters of this. It's I don't even know what to say anymore, man. Like it's just it's pathetic, dude. And you can scapegoat Steve Wilkes. I don't know. This team needs new starters everywhere. Like I was so furious that I was like, dude, if I own this team, every single person on this roster, Sin, the 2 tackles, Pittman, and maybe a couple pieces on the defense, like the guys we acquired and the wide receiver, they'd all be gone, man. We would need 40 new starters if I was in charge of this team because it's that bad.
I gotta tell you, I love Dylan, but after hearing that take about the Jalen Hurts take thing,
oh my God,
I love him. I respect him. He's taught me a lot at the Senior Bowl on how to evaluate talent, and he knows a lot of stuff and everything. But that is such a terrible take, in my opinion. Like it's such a terrible take. Like Jalen Hurts, you're gonna trade 2 number ones. You're gonna put him on this crappy roster.
Oh God.
Then you're giving away first round picks. You're giving away a shitload of money because the expensive part of his contract is coming up. And you believe you're going to build a winning team around Jalen Hurts when you don't have all those draft picks and you're already giving him so much money? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what? That is just absurd to me.
I think
I missed that, but I caught it must have been a day or two before that he was spouting that our best chance at a bridge next year was Kyler Murray, and we should trade for him and pay him $90 million over the next 2.
But why? You know what I mean? Why? He's. I just it's like what the, like I get it. Glenn understands where he is. He's got to win some games, and I think he knows that. But like, dude, we're going to give up capital for Kyler Murray. I think he did. I think
to win 7 or 8 games. Like
that's why. So we could be arguing. We have 3 first-round picks in this great draft class. Now we got to give all of that up to move up to get a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, I would just lick. Yeah, it is. It's 100% true. But I mean, even teams with quarterbacks are losing games. The Titans look like they have their guy in Cam Ward, and they can't win a game to save their lives.
Yeah, the worst thing in the NFL. The worst thing in the NFL is to be 8 to 10 wins.
Stuck in mediocrity.
Dude. Kyler Murray would probably win us 8 games, maybe 7, maybe 6, maybe 9. I don't care.
Probably 5 because we're the Jets.
I am of the mind our savior isn't on the free agent wire. It's not on the trade block.
No, it's in the draft.
Tired of hearing it, man. It's in the draft. Okay, I'm sorry, Dylan.
I think we all. I think we all agree that you need, because they're saying in the chat too. I think everyone's on the same page. No one disagrees. Alon doesn't disagree. No one disagrees that eventually, at some point, right, you have to have a good quarterback to win. I think we all agree. The very, very few outliers where you like Trent Dilfer, where you have rare occasions where you have a quarterback that's not that good, and you could still win somehow because the rest of the roster is so perfect or the situation. But for sustainable winning, we all get it. We need a quarterback. I think, though, it's fair to respect both sides, and it's fair to respect the fact that it doesn't mean we need that quarterback to be there next year. Like it doesn't have to be that quarterback comes in this draft or this offseason. It doesn't have to. It would be nice, but it just doesn't have to. It could be possible that we get that quarterback that we're all talking about the year after that, or the offseason, wherever it is. And I think that's what people have to understand. Nobody, I don't think, in our fandom is saying you don't need a quarterback. I think we're simply saying the disagreement is the urgency of that it has to be now.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the point that Alan drove home, was that we're all impatient, man. You know what I mean? We've been suffering for 15 years. And even when we, those Rex years, the quarterback play wasn't even that great. It was enough. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if we're trying to, recreate the Detroit model, I think they're already 2 steps ahead of us because they had Jared Goff. And they had arguably the best offensive mind waiting in the wings to take over as play caller in Ben Johnson, which there's nobody on this staff is remotely in the same stratosphere as that guy. But I think they could. I think this year was always an evaluation year. Anyone, I put a $500 bet in the day we let Aaron Rodgers go. And the over/under came out around then at 5.5. I put a $500 bet in, so I'm fairly certain that I'm going to win some money off that. But yeah, man,
Hey, nice. What was the bet? Talk to us, man.
It was the over/under on the Jets. I put $500 on the under their win total at 5.5, and then it bumped up to 6.5. I think when they got Justin Fields or something like that. But yeah, I got it at 5.5.
Nice.
The under?
I took the under. Yeah, I was like, dude, this team. I was like, this team just won 5 games with Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, all these guys, and we won 5 games. And then people are arguing and that it's part of it is coaching, Jeff Ulbrich at the helm, but like another argument that a lot of people were making in the offseason on why this team would be much improved is because we were bringing back 8 of 11 starters on the defense. Those were 8 of the same 11 starters. 8 of the same 11 starters. How many fourth quarter leads did we blow last year with Aaron Rodgers at the helm? It was like we led the NFL. I think it was like 7 or 8 games we lost when we had the lead going into the fourth quarter. And we brought
one score games. We were one score games. We were terrible.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I want this team to be successful. Unfortunately, I don't see a path right now. I'm trying to hunt the good stuff, as some people like to say. And the only good stuff that I've been able to pick out has been the moves by Muji, specifically the draft capital in return. That we got back for those guys, because I think a lot of us were like, oh, get rid of Quinnen, get rid of Will. Like, we're losing with these guys. We can lose without them. But then the Sauce Gardner one popped off with 2 first-round picks and a wide receiver that is under contract for the next 2.5 years. And then Quinnen Williams went down with an injury today. I don't know if you guys saw that. And yeah, he went down. I think it was a lower leg in that Cowboys game, which sucks because I would actually watch the Cowboys and kind of root for Quinnen to do well because I like that guy. But yeah, man, it's rough. I don't know where we go from here. They got Wilkes is a goner, enough said, and a quarterback's coach who knows what the hell he is doing needs to be brought in if this team wants to have any measure of success.
I'm with you, Swamp Man. Great call. Have a good night, brother.
Hey, you too, guys.
Peace out, bro. Love you.
Later.
I do that. I do the love you thing. Did you see his face? It was like,
dude,
it was like Ulbricht's face. It was like Ulbricht's
face.
It was like
I don't knock it, man. Because dude, I've been talking to Johnny a lot lately, and it's like, you know what? I should be saying that all the time because you never know. Like he said, man, hug your loved ones, hug your homies, man, hug your.
I think it's my loved one.
Hug your Allens. You might as well. Jeremy, we're wrapping here, but there are 1 or 2 questions I want to ask you. Okay, real quick. You don't have to spend much time on them, but I do want to feel you out on these. Here's one. Boomtown 89er says, the arrogance of some Jet fans to turn their noses up to acquiring top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL is categorically insane to me. The hard pass comments on both Hurts and Burrow the last week or so is wild.
Okay, so I'm not anti-Burrow, so like I'll take myself out of that part of the conversation because I would never like Burrow intrigues me like anybody else as long as he wants to play. Hurts, I'm not turning my nose up on him. Like I'll say this right away. If you just gave me Hurts straight up, like if we drafted him, if you drafted a guy, would you want him to pan out to be Hurts? Absolutely. That's not only top 10, forget about that. Better, he'd be as good as any quarterback we've ever drafted, right? No doubt about it. What I'm saying is it's not, and like this is from me. I don't know if he's talking to me, he might be talking to other people because they're saying it like in a different way, whatever. But like when I say that I don't want Hurts, like I wouldn't want to give away top picks for Hurts. It comes from this. It's not that I don't think that we have better quarterbacks or he's not. You know, but I want to win a Super Bowl, right? And I think that Hurts won a Super Bowl, but look at the roster he had around them. We don't have anything close to that roster. We don't have anything close to it. And if we traded those number one picks that we have, like a bunch of them, right? Now we didn't have so much draft capital. And now we're paying him 45, 50 million because his contract is back-ended. Now you have the problematic part of his contract. It's running into the part of his contract where it's going to start to be 70 million or some crazy shit like that. So all of a sudden we're running into a problem. So now you're giving away all this money. You don't have a ton of picks. The Eagles are struggling right now a little bit, right? Like because a couple of injuries to their offensive line. It's showing that if they don't have if everything is not going perfectly for them around him, I don't know that they're a Super Bowl team. So my problem with it is Hurts going to make us a Super Bowl team with our crappy roster? We have such a bad roster. We have so many holes. We're so bad. Now let's say we bring in Hurts. Okay. Now forget about the money. The money's gone now. Like that 90 million, 100 million treasury bank or whatever, 50, 60 million of it is gone, right? All those draft picks, a lot of them, because we had to trade for them, gone. How are we going to build a roster anything close to what the Eagles have? So it's not anti-Hurts. I think that we naturally have to draft the quarterback so we get the 4 years of cheap money, and we have to do it without giving away all of our picks. Reasonably. Now, Burrow, it's a little bit different. Because I don't put Hurts in the same category as Burrow. And maybe I'm wrong. That's just my opinion. I think Burrow is a special breed. I think that he's in a terrible, even though he has good receivers, they've never given him the offensive line. Right. And I just think that, and maybe I'm wrong. Even me is having doubts as I talk about it. If we gave away all our picks, but it would be hard to pass. To me, it's easier to pass on Hurts than it is on Burrow. Yeah. Because Burrow is like, let's just figure it out. You know, let's just figure it out. We have a good offensive line. We'll just figure the rest out.
For me, and I accept everything you've just said, and I agree with it. I feel like I need to flesh this out for Boomtown's sake as well, because he has presented some great counterpoints this entire stream. He needs to come here more often. I'm not
even against what he said. Like I totally agree. Brushing these guys off and sticking our nose in the air, I'm not for. I don't think we should stick our nose in the air.
If these guys were top 10 quarterbacks, Jeremy, they wouldn't be available. Okay. That's where I struggle. The reason why I am kind of sticking my nose up at Burrow is I listened to his interviews the last week or so, and I question his commitment to football.
No question. That's the hugest concern.
Yes.
That's a huge concern.
That I want him. I would take him in a heartbeat, especially over Jalen Hurts. Would love to have Joe Burrow question it, and he wants to have fun playing. Jeremy, fun playing. Why do we think that we are his prescription that he needs for his ailment of not having fun in Cincinnati? He's going to have fun in New York. That's why I stuff him aside. Now, Jalen Hurts. That's my next one. Jalen Hurts. Do you think Muji's going to get one over on Howie Roseman and Joe Douglas? I don't. I would rather him stay away from them. But if Jalen Hurts becomes available via trade, my next thing is let me look at the contract. Look at the contract. Okay, you're going to pay $120 million for Jalen Hurts, and you'll have him for 3 years. $120 million, 3 years. Okay. Is our window that soon? I don't think it is. So we got to keep him longer than that. Year 4, he's a free agent, and he's void for $97 million on your cap. So
Yeah, well,
you get him.
that. I mean, he's not.
Yeah,
He's not even. He's not even. It's not even a
you know
question.
why?
No way to give her.
That's why Howie Roseman would love to get rid of him, because you get him for 3 years. You better be ready to win, because after that, poison pill, $100 million, dead, 2029. So
And
no, I don't want
right,
Jalen Hurts either.
and we have all these picks to rebuild. So like, and that's my point. Like I said it. He has the back end of his contract is a nightmare. It's an issue. It's a problem. Oh my God, we're gonna take on that problem. We have all these
gift
picks
horse.
and all this
They're
money to
gift.
build the future.
All I'm saying is they're gift horses, man. If a top 10, quote unquote, top 10 quarterback is available on the market, like these two guys are supposedly, one, commitment to football, the other two, financial burden. So that's the only reason. Stick your nose up at them. Yes, I'm just not looking for a quick solution. It's a patient approach. We've talked about it all night, whether it's 2026,
But I don't think
2027.
I don't think either of those points is sticking your nose at it. Like I took it as when he wrote that, sticking your nose out, acting like they're not good enough. Like we could do better.
And I apologize.
You know what I
if
mean?
that
Like,
was
and
my, yeah.
right. And if he means it like that, I agree with him 100%. That's ridiculous because both of them would be for us, given the bar that we've had for quarterback. Oh my God, what are you, crazy? Give me one of those guys. I'm saying, and I'm agreeing with you, situationally, I would want one of those two quarterbacks talent-wise through the natural process of through the draft, or taking a guy someone gave up on that turned out like, Sam Darnold, like we gave up on, Carolina gave up on, right? And then all of a sudden, boom. But like, I want to get my quarterback in a way that doesn't involve giving away all my draft picks and picking up a contract that's disastrous.
And that's context too. We fleshed out why I don't want Burrow, why I don't want Hurts. I think a lot of fans don't even look at that. They just think, oh, player possibly available. Let's just pluck him, put him over here. And Boomtown's probably getting blindsided by a million people just with that take. Yes, can they improve our team? Yeah, dude, they can. But we got to flesh it out. And like once we do, we're over it. A lot of folks don't even do that, and they're on it for weeks and weeks and months. And we're going to be hearing Burrow talk. Dude, he got shut out today, I think. We're going to be hearing about it all week, man, about how he is on the trade block. It's like, how does he even want to play if he didn't want to play last week, and then he fucking was terrible this week? Whatever. Yeah. Jeremy, you got to go. You got to go. I got to go. Chat's still cooking, but they can continue. Good show, man. Any final words for you, brother?
My words are, I knew this would happen. Yes, I'm glad we lost because we want to tank and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, the way we lost today, man, is leaving me with a big hollow feeling. This roster is really bad. We've got real problems. And somehow, even though we have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years and those second-round picks, and it feels like we have a lot of picks, it feels like we are so bad and it's so hollow. And the fact that we don't have a quarterback on top of all that, makes me just feel really, I'm just concerned. We've suffered a long time, and we really need to make the best out of all those picks.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I don't know if we have the coach or not. And I'm not sure about this coach. I'm not feeling great.
Yeah. And if you're either not in on Mendoza or you think we can't attain him, then the solution is waiting 18 months to take the guy and then sitting him for 9 more months. And it's like, bro, we don't have 27 months or 30 months. Like as fans, we don't. But hey, man, you know what? A lot of good conversation. I feel like a lot of good potential arguments and great conversations could have spiraled off of some of these comments in the chat. All I say is that if we didn't hit your comment, if we didn't get to fully flesh out a scenario you had, or you were annoyed with one of our takes, come back next Sunday, because we're going to do this all again. And maybe Alan and Swamp and Johnny and Anthony won't be on the mic. We will, and we're going to flesh out all your chats. We're going to get to the bottom of some of these root issues and root solutions. Chaos, man. Great show tonight, brother. Anything you want to plug before we go?
I'll be back Wednesday with Matt O'Leary at 3 o'clock on Wednesday, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern with Matt O'Leary. And then, of course, I'll be with Green Bean again next week before our next week's show.
Also, check out Brooklyn Brothers Food Review on YouTube. He's JetsChaos. I am Dano, coming to you live from the Danger Zone. Folks, have a good weekend. Happy non-victory Monday. We'll see you next Sunday. Peace.
And happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Yes, that. Happy Hanukkah.
You know, I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
You know, I've been saying this hot take for a long time, and I'm sticking to it. My hot take is that Will McDonald's going to hit 15 sacks.
No member of the New York Jets' Week 1 offensive line will miss a game all year.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble!